So there is an area of hobby interest activity known as everyday carry, or EDC for short. And this is something that I've gotten into an interest in over the years because of my enthusiasm for pens, knives, and to some degree flashlights. And the interesting thing is that EDC has really become kind of like a marketing ploy where just all kinds of goofy, random stuff will be sold as EDC. And even though everyday carry has an English word, everyday means done on a daily basis, carry means the things that you have with you, it's never really been clearly defined as a subject in such a way that people could easily think with what exactly does EDC mean, what does it constitute, and so it becomes kind of this Instagram fashion arms race where everybody's just trying to get the coolest thing that they can take the nicest pictures of, and you get this idiocy where somebody will buy like a $200 pen and a $500, $600, $700 knife and a $2,000 watch and line them up next to one another on top of some fancy handkerchief and take a real beautiful photograph of it, maybe next to a glass of alcohol, and never use these things because they're so expensive that the person is afraid that it might get damaged or dirty or whatever, or lose its value or whatever, right? So I thought on it for a long time because that's what I do, and I finally came up with a definition that I feel adequately covers the field of EDC. And it's a big definition with a lot of small parts, so I'm just going to give you the whole thing and then I'm going to break it down piece by piece. So EDC is that collection of items which you carry with you, which are either necessary or useful for routine or unexpected situations, and or which suit personal taste. So that's a whole lot of thought to unpack. First of all, necessary or useful, right? There are certain things that you do every day, like lock your house, start your car, pay for things with money. Those are things that are necessary for your daily activities. But then there are things that are useful, like say for instance, it's hot as hell outside today. If I had taken with me some little electrolyte fizzy mix to put in a glass of water, that would have been useful. Is it necessary? Not really. Would it be handy to have it in like a little pouch pocket? Yeah, sure, why not, right? And then you have routine or unexpected situations. So routine, you lock your front door every day if you leave your house every day, right? Some people have a profession that involves writing something by hand every day, so they need a pen, right? So unexpected, the reason in my definition I say unexpected situations is when you say emergency, that usually means something that requires that you dial 911. Somebody's getting shot at, burning, a building is on fire, somebody just got into a car accident. But an unexpected situation could be something as undramatic as you dropped your keys through the slot of a drain. How do you get your keys back? That's an unexpected situation that you don't necessarily call the police over, right? Or you go and have lunch at a restaurant and you have coffee and garlic and now your breath smells bad and you need a breath mint. It's nothing to call 911 over, but it's an unexpected situation that a piece of gum would be useful for, right? So that's your necessary or useful for routine or unexpected. You could basically make like a T-shaped graph with 4 little boxes that you could put EDC in. And then completely over on the side, we say and or which suits personal tastes. So regardless of whether you're going to carry something for daily use or for emergency use, whether you're carrying it for something you're going to use all the time or just in the event that you need it, you're going to buy something that suits your personal tastes. If you want a $200 knife, you're going to get a $200 knife. If you want a $10 knife, you're going to buy a $10 knife, and nobody's going to change your mind. And the funny thing is, I talk about knives because that's like one of my big areas of hobby right now. No matter the price range, no matter the function, no matter nothing, what people oftentimes look for the most when choosing which knife they want to buy is the single least important thing about the knife, which is what does it look like? That's the, that would be like buying a car based on how the seatbelt feels between your fingertips. Like, who cares? And yet, that's what people spend their money on, whether they're spending 10 bucks or 100. So anyway, I have a rather hilariously, unnecessarily elaborate EDC setup that I carry in my pockets, and I was going to show it off and give you some general ideas. So first thing, I have my little Case Barlow slip joint. So Case is the company. This is an American folding knife company. It's been around for over 100 years. Barlow is this particular shape, the teardrop handle with that right there. And I carry this because it's completely non-threatening. It cuts well. I don't know if you can see, but it's got glue on it. I use it for anything I can use it for, and people look at how rinky-dink this is and they think it's useless. I've used, not this one, but I had one just like this before that I lost, and then Julia bought me this one as a replacement. But I used its predecessor to shred apart a 100-foot wide, 50-foot tall tent to throw in a dumpster. It was too big to drag into the dumpster, so I sliced it up using this little guy right here, right? So now you say, or I say in my definition, you know, that which is necessary, useful, or which suits personal taste. So this is nice, but it doesn't cover all the functions that I need. So then I also carry a Jungle Survival fixed blade. This is the Essie Azula. It's made out of a special steel. It's very cheap, low cost, it rusts easily, but it is ridiculously strong. I have used this knife to cut a tree in half by laying it against the trunk and hammering it through the tree. I've used it as an ice pick. I've used it to smash open a corrugated cardboard barrel to get salt so that I could salt a driveway that was covered in ice. I've used it to dig saplings out of my front yard. I've used it for, I think I used it as a pry bar once, and you wouldn't even know, right? It's just chugging along. Then I have, oh, that's upside down. There you go. Then I also carry a Swiss Army knife, which has a fully functioning wood saw, a fully functioning pair of scissors, which are laser accurate. It has a Phillips screwdriver, which I use for tightening up, you know, basically like if something's coming loose and needs to be adjusted, I just go in there and give it a quick little turn. It's got a toothpick for, you know, anything that gets stuck in my teeth. A pair of tweezers for grooming, you know, cleaning off this. I call it second puberty, when you start growing hair in even more places. I don't like it, so these do a fantastic job of taking care of that. Then I recently got into the habit of carrying a miniature pair of folding pliers. These are fantastic for if you need to grab a hold of something that you got to pull out, or if you're trying to shove something in, if you're trying to bend something, if you're trying to twist something, if you're trying to grab something that's too hot or sharp. All kinds of functions with that. Plus, it's got a file in the handle, which I use for my fingernails and other things like that. It's got this little tiny screwdriver head, which makes for a good pry bar. It's got other stuff that I don't use. Miniature flashlight, super powerful. A bag full of pens, lots of pens. Why? Because I have a lot of pens. Does a person need to carry all of that all day, every day? God, no. Do I need to have 4 different tools that I can cut with? Of course not. That falls under the or which suits personal taste. Honestly, the reason why I carry so many knives is because I have to justify owning so many. If they all sit on my chest of drawers and collect dust forever, why do I own them? And believe it or not, this all gets used. Maybe not every single day, but almost every day. So there you go. That's some thoughts about what EDC is. Now here's the other thing I was going to say. You might think that you gotta have like this really fancy, like here I am showing off, you know, this is like authentic bone, and this was like knife of the year back in 2019, only made in 2019. Once these are out of stock, you're SOL. You cannot, will not ever find another one like this. That's why I was so sad when I lost my first one, right? This one comes in this blue powder coating over the steel to keep it from rusting. That's exclusive through one particular retailer on the internet, right? These other two, nothing special about them, but you can get special edition ones that are like fancy colors or whatever, right? You don't need to. You only do something like that if you want, right? But the thing about EDC is everybody alive, if they are 8 years old or older, has some kind of EDC. If you carry money every day, if you have an ID, if you have keys, if you carry pencils and rulers and markers to school, you've got something that you carry with you every day, which you use for something, right? And so that's kind of why I made it such a broad definition, is you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars just to have an EDC set up. You just need things which are useful to you, which you like. There you go.